Hi, I'm Darren Walker. Tonight on Inside Louisiana Athletics, Lance Key talks winning his home soccer debut and facing Sam Houston State on the road. We're joined by volleyball head coach Heather Mercedes-Fontenot to revisit the successful Sawyer-Camillo Classic. Head football coach Billy Napier discusses the Ragin Cajuns' home opener with Liberty, brought to you by Sonic. But first, Dan McDonald and Eric Mouton recap the Ragin Cajuns and the Liberty Flames. You're watching Inside Louisiana Athletics.
Opening night for Louisiana's Ragin Cajun football team as head coach Billy Napier greets some of the first responders there. Hugh Freeze, the head coach for Liberty's Flames, he arrived in a little bit different fashion. Coach Freeze fighting back surgery and a staph infection, still here for his team. For Eric Mouton, I'm Dan McDonald. And Eric, it started out very good for the Flames. They scored a couple of touchdowns early, but this interception by Michael Jacquette seems like it sort of turned the momentum a little bit.
Yeah, it certainly did. The Flames drove right down the field very easily, scored a touchdown, put it in the end zone. We thought might be a lot of points scored by both teams, but it was Louisiana's defense that really buckled down and only held them to one more score after that.
Levi Lewis here running for a touchdown. And Levi, I thought, was played under control the entire game.
Yeah, you can see the junior really emerging as the leader of this offense and the leader of this team. And there's Liberty's second touchdown with a big play by the running back.
Frankie Hickson broke that one, and at that point, Liberty led 14-7. But the Cajun defense didn't give up a single point after that over the last 2.5 quarters. They turned it over to the running back core, and they had a historic night. 407 rush yards.
The three-headed monster tonight really exerted himself. The offensive line did a nice job of blocking. Lewis made a couple of adjustments at the line, and those guys really went off tonight.
Jamarcus Bradley with a couple of touchdown catches. This was one right before the end of the first half. He had one more early in the third quarter, and this was a little dipsy-do, and then just outran everybody. And watch these couple of moves as he put it in the end zone. That's a senior doing that.
And I think that's a big impact in the game is tackling. Louisiana was sure tackling tonight, and you saw Louisiana's wide receivers and running backs breaking a lot of tackles, getting a lot of extra yards after first contact.
Elijah Mitchell puts this one in the end zone with 4:50 left in the third quarter. That gave the Cajuns a 35-14 lead. That's the way it ended up as Louisiana comes back from that disappointing opening loss in New Orleans, and they take a 35-14 win over Liberty's Flames here at Cajun Field.
Next on Inside Louisiana Athletics, head coach Billy Napier talks about the Ragin Cajuns football win over Liberty. Brought to you by Sonic.
So this will be a 50-yard attempt. Kick is on its way, and the kick is good! Cajuns win! 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 A 50-yard field goal! And time expires! Holy cow! Can you believe it?
Car Hop Classic for just $2.99 is the perfect 1-2 punch of flavor and value.
Time that!
You need a trainer to help you eat the burger?
Hey, stay out of this.
Don't get in my head, man. There's barely room for me in there.
Hurry in and try quarter-pound double cheeseburger or 6-inch Philly plus tots for $2.99.
I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa! walking on sunshine. Whoa, and I feel good.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Inside Louisiana Athletics. I'm Darren Walker, joined by head football coach Billy Napier. And coach, you get the 35-17 win over Liberty, and you had a lot to be happy with, a lot of good numbers, a lot to build on, but you also had some things that you think you need to work on.
Sure, quality win. Certainly did a lot of good things throughout the day. It's good when you can win a game, get it under control, but also, lots of areas on our team where we need to continue to improve to get ready for the conference run that's upon us here pretty quick.
You talked in the post-game press conference about how you weren't going to let some of the things that happened during the game keep you from celebrating. So just how does Billy Napier celebrate when the game's over?
Man, that's a tough one. You hit the drive-through on the way home, spend some time with Allie. Kids are already in the bed by that point. So, more importantly, just, having a chance to relax, catch up with Allie and the kids in the morning. But, I'm happy for our staff, happy for our team. But we got work to do, and that's where we kind of turned our attention starting on Sunday.
Let's get to the game action here. First quarter, Liberty takes the ball to start the game, and they score on their first possession. Meanwhile, we're getting in field goal range, but not able to connect. And the kicker, kind of like a quarterback, gets a lot of the blame when field goals don't go through, but it's not necessarily always his fault.
Yeah, no question. We stalled out really 3 times in a row there in the red zone. Had to settle for field goals, and our operation wasn't clean. In particular on the first 2, the snap was bad on the first one. The hole was bad on the second one. So Stevie catches a little bit of flack. Certainly felt like he could have hit the third one. It was a little bit deeper. But he was great on the PATs. He made all those. And, great growing opportunity for him. And really for Paul Boudreaux and Bam Jackson as well. The importance of them doing their job. They're specialists too. So I think all jobs are important. And I'm glad that it didn't cost our football team to win.
Eventually, you do get on the board as the first quarter was winding down. Levi Lewis really showing what he can do with his legs for scores from 19 yards out to tie the game. Yeah,
great concept there. We spread the field. Staff had a great concept going there. Perimeter screen to the field, quick game concept to the boundary with the quarterback draw. They covered everything down. Levi did a nice job pressing the point of attack. Good vertical one-cut run, and on 3rd and long there, converted. Certainly a big-time play by Levi Lewis.
Liberty jumps back on top with a Frankie Hickson 66-yard touchdown run. And, Coach, that was pretty much it for the Liberty offense for the rest of the night. Ragin Cajuns defense was just outstanding. I'll give you a couple of stats here. Liberty was 18% on 3rd down conversions, 139 yards of total offense after that 66-yard run. For the rest of the way, they either punted or you turned them over on downs.
Yeah, outside of that first possession, it felt like we were really in control of the game, really dominant performance. They got 9 plays, gave them half of their total offense. So I think shut them out in the second half. Certainly a strong showing, really good adjustments by our staff, pressured a little bit more, created some turnovers, which is a big deal. So our defense continues to improve. Great job by Coach Roberts and his staff.
The lead didn't last very long. Trey Regis on 2nd down on the ensuing possession. Raymond Calais is kind of known for being the speedster out of the backfield, but Trey really did show some speed on that 75-yard run.
Yeah, area where Trey kind of had some goals in the offseason to make improvement, more finishing speed for him. A lot of time working on speed improvement drills, certainly leaner, stronger, faster. Great for Trey, and certainly I know he was happy about that. All his hard work has paid off.
Now, just before the half, 1:57 on the clock, and you have all 3 timeouts. A well-executed 2-minute drill. Raymond Calais had a big 26-yard run on the drive, and then Jamarcus Bradley was the main contributor through the air, and he gets the touchdown with a few seconds left, and you take a 21-14 lead into the half.
Yeah, this was something we did not do well in the first game. Felt like our team really answered the call here. Situation experts, we talk about it. This was 2 minutes before the half. We did have our timeouts. It allowed us to mix it up a little bit, run and pass. A few RPOs on that possession. So A lot of good plays by Levi, and certainly the skill played well around him. Big play by Ray, kind of making something out of nothing right there and got it down and able to score there with a fade touchdown conversion.
So first possession of the third quarter, 6 plays, 75 yards. Levi hits Jamarcus Bradley. A lot of run after the catch there, 58 yards, and he takes it to the house. And now you got a 28-14 lead, and you have that, score right before the half, score coming out of the break. It's hard to recover from that if you're the other team.
Sure, got control of the game. We always talk about the end of the second quarter, start of the second half. We work on it, and certainly it showed up here. We 2 scores, a lot of momentum, and then our defense took control. We didn't quite finish the way we'd like to, as far as running the ball, kind of taking the air out of the ball, finishing the game. But all that being said, the defense had a terrific day, certainly a great day on third down and fourth down. Very, very impressed with how they finished the game.
Yeah, they gave you the ball right back, and Elijah Mitchell scores a touchdown to put you up 35-14. And now you're starting to get some of the young guys in the game. And you talked about wanting to play all these guys and get some experience for what's coming later down the road.
Sure, it's a big part of who we need to become as a team. We've got a lot of young, talented players that maybe have minimal experience. So games like these, opportunities like these, we need to put those players in, live with the outcome of that, and certainly some things we can improve upon. But very, very valuable experience for a lot of young players.
Just a couple of notable performances on the defensive side. Mike Jacquet had a pick, a PBU, 5 tackles. Lorenzo McCaskill from the linebacker spot also had 5 tackles. Chauncey Manak, 2 sacks, 4 tackles. So you're getting production at all 3 levels of the defense.
Yeah, and all 3 of those guys are critical players. Certainly guys that we challenge to step up. Lorenzo McCaskill in particular had probably his best game as a Cajun. We need him to grow, mature, and develop into a much more significant contributor. Mike had a big challenge with the big-time receiver that they had. I thought he really rose to the occasion. And then huge plays by Chauncey. A couple critical sacks on third and fourth down there.
Real quick, Texas Southern comes in, second week in a row that you're facing a new staff and not a lot to go on, but they did put over 500 yards on the offense last week.
Yeah, this is a very accomplished head coach. Certainly has significant college experience. You can see their improvement. They're more disciplined. Certainly playing with great effort. They've probably added 6 or 7 good transfers to their team. So they've got some talent, and certainly going to present a number of challenges, starting with the quarterback, who's a former Florida State, Florida Atlantic transfer. He's got great skill around him, some really good receivers. So it's going to be a heck of a challenge, and we're looking forward to being back at home, 6:30 kick. Excited to see our fans come back out again like they did last week.
All right, Coach, as always, thanks for the time. Coming up next on Inside Louisiana Athletics, Coach Heather Bezatas-Fontenot talks about the Sawyer Camillo Memorial Classic.
Sonic's got all my fair faves.
Cheddar peppers, 99-cent corn dogs, Oreo a la mode. I love the fair. All the prizes you can win.
Totally. Did you win all those?
Winning's for suckers. I bought these.
Hurry in. Fair faves start at 99 cents and order ahead for happy hour anytime.
To perform, you need speed, skill, strength. With every muscle, every move, you push your body to reach its full potential. But sometimes you just can't push through the pain. That's when you know it's time to address it. So when injury puts you on the sidelines, trust us to get you back in the game. Lourdes Sports Care, the team behind your team.
If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, then your feet will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it's Zydeco. If you're happy and you know it, mange. If you're happy and you know it, mange. If you're happy and you know it, I think I will help you show it. If you're happy and you know it, mange.
Sonic's got all my fair faves.
Cheddar peppers, 99-cent corn dogs, Oreo a la mode.
But there's no chicken on the Fair Faves menu, right?
No. Why do you ask?
No reason.
You're safe.
Hurry in. Fair Faves start at 99 cents and order ahead for happy hour anytime.
Welcome back to Inside Louisiana Athletics. Time now to talk some volleyball with head coach Heather Mercedes-Fontenot. And Coach, let's talk about the Sawyer Camillo Memorial Classic. You get 3 wins in the tournament to even your record at 3-3. So what was the biggest difference between last week and this week?
I think the biggest difference is we practiced a lot harder. Again, we were able to control our errors in practice, and you're going to play how you practice, right? And so, but also showing them, we videotape our practices and being able to show them kind of what it looked like and maybe a light bulb moment, but also we stayed fully consistent in a 6-2 offense versus the weekend before we kind of flipped in and out of a 5-1 and a 6-2. So I think that consistency helped them also.
You start the tournament with McNeese, and you had to fight for this one. You lose the first set, win the second, lose the third, win the fourth, and then you go to the fifth set, and you win your first match of 2019. But you had to battle, but you found a way to get it done.
It's true. McNeese always comes ready to play us, and our girls are, coming off of being 0-3, and so it's like finding their footing again. And we started the first set the same way we ended the last tournament, just lots and lots of errors. And when we finally got it to a place, Driana Abram went back and went on a serving run of 7 or 8 serves and just did a fantastic job in that fourth set to kind of seal it for us in the fourth set. And then the fifth set, we continued that momentum. But McNeese played well, and we battled for it.
Second match of the day, you sweep Eastern Michigan 3-0, and I would imagine that's kind of just what the doctor ordered after going through the 5-set match earlier.
Well, no, for sure. And Eastern Michigan, I felt was going to be our toughest opponent this weekend. They were in the NCAA tournament last year, and the head coach was their assistant last year, so lots of continuity in terms of what they've got going on in their program. And very proud of our girls. We fought because the first set we were down, I think 7 points at one time, and we ended up winning 25-16. So the point turnaround was very, very large. And then the second set we got down again, and the third set was just a battle back and forth of 2 good teams, and we were able to come out on top in 3, and that was big. Last game of the tournament, you play Florida A&M. You win it 3-1, but one of those wins was a 25-4 victory. Not something you see in college volleyball too much. No, we had really been talking with the girls about serving tough. And again, Avery Bro got back there, and I don't know how many serves, maybe 10, 11, I don't know. But she was serving for a very long time, and we had the pressure on them during that entire time. But I also think we came into that match a little bit unfocused because I think the girls knew that they had already won the tournament at that point because based on the results of everything, we were already tournament champions by the time that match happened. So I don't know that they came to it with as much fire as they needed, but 25-4 was awesome. Yeah. But then we turned around and lost the next set. Right. So then we had to fight for the fourth set. So it's volleyball. It's all about momentum, but very proud of the girls. Last week you talked about how you had emphasized defense during camp and that you were going to emphasize offense more this past week. So just talk about the offense and the way it performed after, putting a little bit more focus on it. Well, amazing that one weekend we go and we don't hit a single, as a team, you want to hit 250. It's kind of like a batting average, right? And this weekend, every single match we hit over 200, whereas last weekend we didn't even hit 100, barely. And we had kids hitting their standards. We have standards, attacking percentages, standards for each positions, where middles want to hit 400, our pins, our outside hitters want to hit 250. And so we have a kid like Celeste, her standard is 250. So anything above that is kind of gravy, right? And so she hit 404 on the weekend. Driana Abram hit her standard, hitting 417. And we had a lot of other kids, in a really good positive attack percentage. So that week of work definitely paid off. Yeah, Celeste had 41 kills on the weekend. Big weekend from her. A big weekend coming up for you guys because you're going to the Oklahoma Invitational, Arizona State, Georgia Tech, Oklahoma. The level of competition is going up, and it's really going to be a good barometer for you to kind of see where this team is. No, it's true, and we intentionally got into this tournament. I wanted to see some Power 5 opponents before we got into the very first weekend of conference, which is Texas State and UT Arlington. So we go right into it. So I felt like our last 2 weekends of tournament play needed to be very strong. And so, I agreed to go to the Oklahoma tournament, and we didn't know who the other two opponents were. And then they also happened to be, Power 5 schools. And so it is what it is. We're going to go and play hard.
All right. Well, thanks for the time and best of luck to you this weekend. Coming up next on Inside Louisiana Athletics, head soccer coach Lance Key talks about winning the home opener.
So this will be a 50-yard attempt. Kick is on its way, and the kick is good. Cajuns win! 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 A 50-yard field goal! Time expires! Holy cow! Can you believe it?
We are a young conference, full of energy, passion, and pride. And we won't rest until we've made our mark. Our accomplishments have earned us a place among the top of the college football world. But we're just getting started. We've still got a lot of growing to do. And the future is for the young. Sunbelt is proud to be a part of 150 years of college football.
The Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, the highly recognized mark of distinction in college athletics across all divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow your favorite team's pursuit for excellence in this prestigious annual award through thedirectorscup.com, USA Today, or L Directors Cup on Twitter. Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics since 1993.
Hello and welcome back to Inside Louisiana Athletics. Darren Walker joined by the head soccer coach Lance Key. And coach, you have a 3-game win streak, first time since 2016 that the program is enjoying one of those. And you've already matched your win total from last year. So kind of a two-part question, like what is it that has these girls clicking right now? What is it that has them kind of coming together and playing as a team?
I think one of the things that brings a team together is shared experience, right? And sometimes that can be losses, sometimes it can be wins. We prefer them to be wins, right? So I think at this point, riding the success that we've had over the last couple of weeks, they're feeling a sense of unity, they're feeling a sense of collective purpose. We're also being super deliberate about that, talking about it all the time, really keeping it fresh in their mind, making sure that when we do things together. We're thoughtful about it, and I think some of that comes down just to the culture that we're really trying to emphasize. And then from an actual competition standpoint, in terms of what they're accomplishing on the field, that's commitment. It's just making a decision, having a mindset that they want to go out and be successful. They're spending a lot of time, a lot of effort to be college soccer players, and you might as well be good if you're going to do it. And so that's something that they're really focusing on. And we set up our training sessions to compete for everything. I mean, the only thing we don't compete for is water, but everything else we're competing for. Mm-hmm. And I think that starts to get in you. It starts to become part of our identity, and I think that's so far has been that. Even going back to last week when we were down 3-2 after being up 2-0. Just finding a way to continue to compete. It would have been really easy to walk away from that and just say we'll have to get the next one. But the commitment that they're showing to just continuing to battle and fight and be purposeful and put everything they have into it, that in and of itself can bring a group together, and I think it is.
Last week, your home opener against Southern, you win that one 3-0, and Skylar Sykes had a goal and an assist in that one. Just talk about that night for you, being at home and getting the win.
It was a great night at home. I think the crowd was very good. They were engaged. From what I was told, I haven't been here before for a home game, so that was my first experience. But from what I was told, it was one of the better and bigger crowds that we've had out at the soccer facility. So very thankful for that. Our seniors, this is their last home opener, and everybody gets 4 home openers in their entire career. And so we wanted to make sure that we came out and we took the opportunity to be successful, took the opportunity to really be on the front on the front of our feet, so to speak, and dictate the game, dictate the environment, dictate the experience, and we did. And Skylar was a big part of that. Skylar came back from the first weekend when we were away in Beaumont, where she was hurt. She didn't play at all, and then we introduced her back into competition the weekend in Chicago, and she was fantastic, and that carried through and has continued to carry through. She was good yesterday for us as well. So we're super happy with all that's going on right now, and we're grateful for players like her who have that mentality that even if they're out, they're looking for their opportunity, and when they get it, they're going to take it.
One more I want to mention is Kat Whitman. She also had a goal in this game from Youngsville, went to St. Thomas More High School, but spent the last 3 years at St. Edward's University. It had to be a thrill for her to come back home and be a contributor in that win.
She had a great contingent out supporting her for her last home opener and to be in her hometown.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a series of events that a little bit unfortunate, I think, in circumstance as to why she ended up not finishing her career at St. Edward's. A good friend of mine is the head coach there and put a call into me and explained to me the situation, and we were happy to have the opportunity to bring her back in, and she's been a big contributor for us so far. She's just a great human being. She's got tremendous leadership qualities. She's a competitor, and great to see her get the game winner at home in front of her family.
This weekend you go to Sam Houston State, and you go to overtime with the Bearcats. Carlene Beedry scores the golden goal for you at the, I believe, 103rd minute. So you're able to get that win and win your third game in a row.
Yeah, yesterday was hot. It was, their field is small, it's turf, and it was probably 120, 130 degree surface temperature. I mean, it was blazing hot. And in those situations, and especially that one, we went up pretty early, got the go ahead, went into halftime 1-0, came back. Second half was going fairly well. They were opening us up a little bit in some moments that we were trying to solve. We had the mandatory water break, and 30 seconds after the mandatory water break, they get their equalizer. Mm-hmm. And in those settings, when it's so hot and you're on the road on a Sunday afternoon when the environment's not great and you're tired and you've had to travel, it's easy to mentally start to just pack it up. But they found a way to get the result. Mackenzie Lee, a punt from the edge of her 18-yard box straight down the middle of the field in the 103rd minute. Carlene just went and chased it down. Goalkeeper's coming out, went up and contested with the goalkeeper and their center back. And just a great little touch. All it needed was a touch, and she took it and scored her third goal for the season. She's been very good for us as well to this point.
Gotcha. A couple more non-conference games coming up for you guys before you start conference. So best of luck to with those two games. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the hat. Love the hat. A friend, Coach Robichaux, looks good on you.
I appreciate it.
You need to get me one of those. Next on Inside Louisiana Athletics, we take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Louisiana Ragin Cajuns.